Today I'm going to show you how to create a realistic slit throat using gelatin prosthetics you can make from scratch. If you want to know how to sculpt wounds like this, check out the link below. Products for this tutorial will also be listed in the video description below.
It is Friday, bros and ghouls. Illusionist here with another tutorial. For real.
Using a cotton swab, thinly apply Pros Ade or any FX adhesive to the neck area, allowing it plenty of time to tack up. Next, apply your wound piece to the area by pulling from each edge so that it lays as flat as possible. Press down the outermost edges and hold in place. Next, we are going to use an awesome extract called Witch Hazel to dissolve the edges of gelatin. Witch Hazel can be found in the pharmacy section of your local drugstore or online. While gently pulling on the outermost edges, apply Witch Hazel to the inner parts of the appliance. Doing this changes the composition of the gelatin and allows it to become soft and sticky. Avoid over-applying. When making gelatin prosthetics, I often choose to not pre-color them. This is because the natural transparency of gelatin allows for my skin tone to appear through the piece. Continue going around the edges, applying Witch Hazel with a cotton swab. The piece should appear fairly seamless when all edges are blended properly. Next, I'm going to powder the piece with fair translucent setting powder. This knocks down the natural sheen of gelatin and provides the piece with a matte finish. You have two options when coloring gelatin pieces: grease makeup or alcohol activated. I use the Skin Illustrator palette from Premier Products. Starting with a fairest tone, rice paper, I evenly distribute a wash of color over the whole area. After several applications of the same wash with rice paper, I switched to the natural one tone and repeated the same process. If you are darker skinned, consider Natural 2, Lao 1, and Lao 2. Any additional details like blood vessels and irregularities can be made by subtly applying the blood tone and olive adjuster. To color the inner workings of your wound, use a small brush and apply color to the deepest areas first. I used varying levels of blood tone, bruise tone, aged blood, and some blue to achieve muscle tissue. I also mixed the bruise tone with blue and applied it along the outer edge to suggest greater depth. To nail the surface highlights of the wound, I applied a very light wash of rice paper to the trachea detail. I also dabbed the same color on the surface to some muscle details. You can go back in with alcohol on the brush to diffuse any rougher looking details. To finish this look, I used a small wedge sponge to apply Nye Stage Blood. Start with the innermost part of the wound and avoid being too heavy-handed. Snap an autopsy photo for the morgue and your look is complete. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a comment below. Feel free to request a look you want to see.